Thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com, home of technical analysis education in both the stock market and cryptocurrency worlds. See the links in the description of this video for more information on our two courses, Entries and Exits on the Fundamentals of Technical Analysis, as well as our new course on Trading Cryptocurrency Strategy. Purchase both and receive a 20% off bundle discount. Thanks for checking us out. Let's get on to the technical analysis. Hello everyone, going to be looking at the big three as well as NEO and OMG with some member requests here. So big day for the bulls to start it off, and members in the chat room are noticing a really nice pattern, and props to them for pointing it out. But 5 a.m. Central Time is when we're seeing the bulls show up a couple days in a row now, and it's been a pattern we've been noticing in the past and just watching it follow through, and it's something to keep an eye on. Obviously, we're not just going to blindly buy at this time and hope the price goes up, but it tells us to either wake up early to get on at this time or keep an eye out for increasing bull volume, because this pattern is something that we can utilize to our trading advantage. Another thing we're seeing on these time frames is a lot of inside bars with bull breaks. We can see right now Bitcoin on the daily time frame had an inside bar where the range was fitting completely within the previous range, a bull break at 37.89, and that day we went up to 39.69, so that was a nice $80 move up. We then had another inside bar yesterday, bull break as soon as 39.60 broke, and here we are seeing another $35, $40 move to the upside on that break. So that's a nice example of the inside bar alert system giving these triggers on when these inside bars do break for upside. And we saw Ethereum on the daily time frame with a break as well. So we're right at key resistance. For the higher low of the bulls, or I should say the higher high, we have to break 41.30. The high of today is 40.9685. So we are $35 away from a higher high. So we have the low of the dump, high of the bounce, higher low, higher high, higher low, and we're close to that higher high. And another thing members did a good job pointing out was volume. Volume was an indication that we were not going to see, although it still is possible to see the equilibrium pattern on the daily with higher lows and lower highs if we were to reject from 41.30 here without getting this follow through. But it was the volume showing very small bear volume on the inside bar days and increasing bull volume on the days that they broke. And this day right now, we have over 7 hours of trading left, and we've already passed yesterday's total volume. So we know it's another big volume day. So all about 41.30, a break of that resistance is a great sign for the bulls. Where we stand right now is pretty overbought on some shorter term time frames. 4-hour RSI is at 70. That's not necessarily too overbought and not a big concern at this point. We did just form a bearish reversal candlestick on the 4-hour, so we are watching for the potential that we would pull back from here. But as of right now, we're not confirming it. We still have over 3 hours on this candlestick, so it's something to pay attention to. But I would be looking for the details on the hourly to be making decisions based off of. We got very overbought in the short term. Something that I've noticed in the recent past is when we're at a critical resistance level and traders recognize that, we see the RSI levels get further extended into the overbought territory to ensure that the bulls reject or break those resistances. So right now we're approaching 41.30, and normally I'd be looking to hold off any kind of entries and sit on the sideline and wait for more prolonged consolidation, because that's what we've been seeing on this bull move, and that's what this icon is talking about with stair-stepping higher. Looking at this 4-hour time frame again real quick, just a higher low, higher high stair-step pattern, which is what we are currently in, and these stair-step parts have had pretty prolonged consolidation. But because we are so close to this resistance, I have oftentimes seen in the past the bulls disregard short-term RSI levels to ensure that resistance break, because the last thing that the bulls want to see right now is a pullback and a double top at 41.30 and a rejection with the inability to get over that level. So on the hourly time frame right now, here's another inside bar setup. We have multiple inside bars in a row. So right now a break would be at 40.92 for the bulls, but with 20 minutes until this candlestick closes, we will likely be utilizing the range of this candlestick as the inside bar to be watching. So checking in on the 15-minute time frame for even more details, here's our little higher low pattern. 40.47 and now 40.64. Little higher low. Tightening range. Bulls need to see a break of higher highs for continuation. Ethereum on the daily time frame. Inside bar yesterday. Bull break at 295.48. If you entered on that alert signal being sent, that is a $7 move to the upside, and we are right on the verge of a resistance break here as well. So Ethereum slowing down the past couple of days with the correlation has leveled out, where Bitcoin at one point, if we could we were looking at the odds that Ethereum would see a break of this resistance and hit a higher high before Bitcoin because we were so much closer to it. But now Bitcoin's been very strong today and Ethereum's lagging behind a little bit. The bulls did just get their act together and see a strong move. And we're right at this resistance of 303.78. And we are currently $1.27 shy from the high of today to break that level. And it's the same thing. Higher low and higher high. And if we break that level of 303.78, we're looking up at 316.19 as the next resistance. If Bitcoin on the daily time frame breaks its 41.30 level, I'm looking up at 41.74 and 43.75. There is a lot of space up after we break that level for the bulls to see continuation. So the 4-hour time frame on Ethereum, not nearly as high in RSI. Upper wick of profit taking, but the bulls still certainly in control. Hourly time frame showing this consolidation. Again, upper wick of profit taking, high volume climax, signaling the temporary top. And the 15-minute is showing healthy consolidation and a tightening range with our high, low of the pullback, lower high, higher low. So key support in the short term is 297.32. And I'm looking at resistance of 299.45. Litecoin being a bit of a laggard, but still strong. We're on the verge of this daily bull MAC decross. We broke the high of yesterday for some continuation. The key level to see a clear higher high on this daily chart is $58. And that's this resistance right here. If we break $58, we then have a higher low and a higher high on this bounce attempt, and that will show a lot of momentum shifting back to the bulls. On the 4-hour time frame for Litecoin, RSI is reasonable, not overbought. Healthy consolidation, but it is a bearish reversal spinning top candlestick. So watching the same thing as Bitcoin for the potential to confirm this candlestick over the next 3 hours, but no sign of that at this point. On the hourly time frame for more details, the low of the pullback is 54 and 53.99. So that's a key level for the bulls to hold going forward in order to stay the strongest. If we break that, then we know further profit taking is coming. And resistance right now, 54.40, followed by 54.50 and 54.69. So bulls still holding on. The 15-minute time frame showing some healthy, tight consolidation. Little higher low, 53.99, 54.14, and multiple tops at 54.40 that the bulls need to break through. So we're seeing a strong correlation between the three, but what we're seeing over the past week is that when one name, like Ethereum was the strongest over the weekend, and then Litecoin was the strongest yesterday, but now Bitcoin's the strongest, they're all really evening out when it all is said and done. And because these correlations are breaking slightly and they're not really fundamental news related, that's why we're seeing them all come back to each other in the end, in my opinion. And we will likely see Bitcoin and Ethereum break the daily higher high at the same time if that is going to happen today. And if it does, we'll look for Litecoin to head up towards $55 resistance. So the bulls are in control of the big three at this point. We're seeing normal, healthy consolidation right now. And at this point, we are also negating that 4-hour potential bearish reversal head and shoulders pattern that we were watching. And as soon as we broke this level of 38.19, that was when it really became a lot less likely that that was going to follow through. And this most recent leg up this morning certainly made it no longer that shape of that pattern. So again, something that I point out, and I'm about to point it out again on OMG. Let's do that first. But an analogy that I used here is this is a scenario where I point out this pattern, and it doesn't mean I'm making any decisions based off this pattern. It means I am aware that this pattern is there, and if it continues to follow through, then I will make decisions based off of it. But it's something I'm just looking out for. An analogy that I used is, say we're going camping and we're setting up our tents and we look in the distance and see there's a storm approaching and say, whoa, those are some big clouds. We need to keep an eye on this wind direction and be prepared for this storm to come our way. And then over, the course of the next few hours, I'm going to say I'm not going to pack up my tent and go home, but it's something I'm going to be aware of. And if it keeps coming this way, then I will react to it. So then the wind blows a different direction and the storm misses us, and then, so we don't act on that pattern. But to say that, we're wrong because this pattern didn't follow through, I'm not saying anything about these bearish reversal head and shoulders patterns following through. I'm just trying to say, keep an eye on this pattern, because the last thing we want to do is be made aware of a pattern when it's being confirmed. I can watch this pattern right now, and the break would be if we lose this neckline of 2132. This is OMG BTC on Bittrex. So if we break 2132, that's a break of the neckline, and we go from higher lows and higher highs to lower highs and lower lows if that were to occur. So if this price were to keep dropping down from here and head to about 2.3 and 2.2, that's when I would start preparing for this resistance, or I should say for this support and the potential break and to make sure I was not in any bullish positions. And it's also a potential bearish signal if you wanted to short. So where we stand right now, the bulls are trying to see normal, healthy consolidation. These two candlesticks, there's no red flags. It would have to take increasing bear volume and a lack of lower wicks for the bears to take control of this current pullback. But our current support right now is 2432, and our resistance is 2629. So the bulls do still have a higher low pattern, but it is at risk if we do head back down towards the low 2.3 and 2.2 ranges. The 4-hour time frame, we can see this consolidation, higher low and higher high. So we're looking for the bulls to establish a new higher low here, which right now is 2432. Resistance, 2561. Can pick a few levels here, 2595, and then that top of today, 2629. So still healthy. The fact that the bulls turned around momentum, and they are still keeping that momentum in their favor. Zooming in on the hourly, we can see there was a spike there, a big time spike on volume, but some profit taking associated with that. So we'll see if the bulls can hold this low of 2432, and if they can, then we'll be looking for this hourly momentum to shift and for higher lows and higher highs to begin forming again. But as of right now, there is definitely indecision on this daily time frame, and we do have to be cautious if we head back down to this neckline of support on that potential pattern. Looking at NEO, the bulls have been on fire for NEO. This is NEO BTC on Bittrex. Huge follow through and a strong volume day today, already surpassing yesterday and still a long way to go. So we broke to a higher low and higher high here. The key resistance was 7.4. We broke 7.4, and the next resistance I'm looking up at is 8.84. The RSI on the daily is approaching 70. The 4-hour RSI is overbought. We are up at 86 on the 4-hour RSI. So we have to be cautious of profit taking. There's a lot of news around NEO. We have this exchange opening. Could be a sell the news event on this exchange. We have to be cautious of that. We'll see how much buying goes on. But very clearly, this is the market pricing in the benefit of that exchange and the volume that's going to come with it. It's all bull volume. We don't have any red flags at this point. We're just aware that profit taking is likely to occur in the near-term future, but we have a very clear higher low, higher high hourly pattern, and even just the past 4 hours, higher lows every hour. So no sign of profit taking and bearish signals just yet. The bulls are still enjoying the ride up. And for more details on the 15-minute time frame, I can see support levels at 8138 and 7988. And again, still just forming higher lows. We do have a double top right now at 836. That's worth keeping an eye on, but we're still certainly within striking distance, and we'll see if the bulls are able to break that in the next hour or so. If we are unable to break that level and we start to lose the higher lows on the 15-minute, I personally would be looking to lock in profit just to ensure that I wasn't holding at the top here, and assuming that I could rebuy a bit cheaper once this 4-hour time frame does consolidate. So this is the kind of scenario where we don't want to get caught up in the hype and say, oh, the exchange is going to open tomorrow. We're going to go another 10% once that happens. It's a possibility, but knowing the risk to reward at these levels with these indicators this overbought, at the first signs of weakness on the 15-minute or hourly time frame, I personally would be looking to lock in profit. So that's where we stand on NEO. Bulls in full control. The weekly time frame, big time recovery. Look at the inside bar signal. Inside bar, bull break at 549, huge follow through. I cannot stress the importance of these inside bars enough. Again, obviously it's not a sure thing, works every time signal, but it is a signal that puts the odds in your favor significantly, and it occurs on every time frame, and it's a really nice setup. And we know that it's that same equilibrium pattern. The daily time frame was forming higher lows and lower highs while we were consolidating on inside bars on the weekly, and it was a nice, clear signal. So we're currently in the process of adding Bittrex as the next exchange for the cryptocurrency alert system. We'll make an announcement when that goes live, and certainly brainstorming all kinds of indicators. That's my favorite part, looking to add indicators that really there aren't many signals for out there right now, but indicators that I use, signals on the chart that stand out to me, and putting that into data that can be transmitted. So appreciate you checking in, and we will see what tomorrow brings as to whether or not Bitcoin and Ethereum can break over their current resistances. 4130 on GDAX and Coinbase, and 303, let's get this exact level on Ethereum real quick, 303.78. I appreciate you watching and hope you have a good rest of your day. Yeah, bud. What are you doing?